ginger grizzly bear with a super palate. Cigar Loons, invaders of the cigar world. Grumpy preacher, the conspiracy theory expert. Cigar Loons podcast, come and join us. Vitola and proof expert on all things spirits. Tobacco G, Stitch director of special operations. Cigar Loons podcast, we are the invaders of the cigar world. Cigar Kurt, the front porch cowboy. As a ginger grizzly bear with a super palate. Cigar Loons, invaders of the cigar world. Grumpy preacher, the conspiracy theory expert. Cigar Loons podcast, come and join us.
Of course, hello and good evening, and welcome, of course, to the Cigar Loons podcast. And our guests tonight are Billy and Gus of Artesano del Tobacco, and of course, the makers of course, the Viva La Vida, and also the Al Pulpo. And of course, thank you very much for joining us tonight, guys, and joining us on the podcast. And we're very excited to be sitting with you guys, and of course, learning about how you came into the cigar industry, how, of course, it all came around with the Viva La Vida coming out, and also the Al Popo. So, of course, just going around the table, of course, you got me, Rocky Cigar Reviewer Guys. Of course, you've got Kurt at Cigar Kurt. We've got Matthew at Vital and Proof. Grumpy at Grumpy Preacher 58. And, of course, down at the bottom, we've got Jesse at Tobacco G-Sticks. And, of course, hello and welcome. So, Kurt, how's your day been, my brother? You having a good day?
It's been good. I've been looking forward to this. Gentlemen, I'll absolutely love this Viva La Vida.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
No, you're more than welcome. And you know something? When I said to Kate about, of course, and Grumpy and the rest of the brothers about getting in touch with you, I explored the Viva La Vida in 2019 when I got given one by my cigar lounge in England. And I carried on trying them and smoking them, and it was like, this cigar is just a wow factor and keeps performing all the time. So when I mentioned, of course, to the guys about it, I'm like, I hope you guys enjoy it. Kurt smoked a couple of them. Of course, tonight for Matthew, and of course, Grumpy and Jesse, it's their first time trying the Viva La Vida. So, of course, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around first and ask some questions. Then, of course, the other brothers are going to ask some questions. But anyway, of course, Billy and Gus.
Thank you, Rocky.
How did you get, of course, into the whole cigar industry? I know, of course, we've heard part of it. You had a couple of cigar lounges in New York, of course, and then you came into it. But you tell us your version of how you got into the whole cigar business, and then how it came, of course, to working with AJ Fernandez, my brothers.
Beautiful. Thank you for having us, first of all. Good evening to everybody on the Cigar Loons fans and listeners and viewers. We started our journey basically close to 30 years ago. We had two cigar shops in New York, and we met AJ, ex-partner, at that time when they came in 2012, introducing San Lotano. We didn't know who was AJ at that time, even though he was doing most of beautiful cigar brands for private companies and for public companies. And he created his own portfolio, and he started in 2012 launching it in the States. So it was our first introduction to AJ Fernandez tobacco and AJ Fernandez cigars. We fell in love with his blends. We realized it's something unique and new to the market. Nobody's doing something like it, so it was really refreshing. And after we started selling AJ Fernandez cigars, we decided to do our first project, Viva La Vida. And
That's correct.
right?
Oh, yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good having us from New York. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, members. And again, thank you for allowing us to be on your platform. It is an honor. And every time we get the chance to talk about our history, it makes us feel so good deep inside. Like the moments we have with you now, guys, it's so big and it's so dear to our hearts. We feel very blessed and very honored, and we are so happy to have the product in our hands and also in your hands right now, enjoying it. And we here to answer any question that you guys have, anything. So we are here. Please, anyone who have a question, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's of course open, of course, to the audience as well. If you want to ask a question from rumble.com or Instagram or of course on YouTube, then please hit your comment in, of course, the field, and of course we can get that out to, of course, Billy and Gus. But you know something, you know what really stands out to me about the Viva La Vida? It's the band. The
The
band
band.
has always stayed at the forefront when I very first saw it. And it was
Wow.
like it just stayed, and it's there, that lasting impression of seeing it. And
Thank you.
first when I saw it, I was like, is it a clown or is it a jester? And of course, the cigar shop where I was, he's like, oh no, it's a clown. I'm like, let me have a proper look. And then of course, as I saw this, it was the jester.
Suggester. Correct.
Jesters, and of course, being the fool of the show. These guys would say I'm the fool of the show. So of course, the jester. But it's a gorgeous looking band. Even of course seeing
Words in my
the band
mouth.
on the box. Well, yeah, I know it. I know it's weird that we're going to be in your mouth, Grumpy. But it's just superb. But
Yeah.
how did you come up, of course, with the whole name of the Viva La Vida, and of course using the Jester for the cigar, with that being your first cigar? How did that idea come around?
So when we decided to do the Viva La Vida, we, as I told you guys, we went to AJ since we fell in love with his product, and AJ said, "You guys supported me when I was nobody, and you stood by me, and now I will do whatever project you want to do for me." He's that type of person. He's extremely loyal. Uh, so we came to him with the idea. As you know, guys, I don't know if you know how we do things here, but I want to explain to you how Artesano del Tobacco works. When we bring any project to AJ or any cigar manufacturer, we start backwards. So we bring a finished product. We design the box, the label, the vista. We design anything regarding the look of the cigar. We draw the shapes, sizes. We, if it is unique, if they are unique sizes, and then we bring to the blender a notes and blends of what we're looking for. Certain notes, the wrapper, filler, binder, what kind of notes we're looking for, strength, and all these things, right? So what we do, we bring it to them, and it becomes like a map to the final product. So the like AJ will see the finished product before he start working on the blend itself. So it works on two ways here. The design, the work, the art will influence the cigar maker, the cigar blender, and also the notes, the flavors, the recommendation from our end, what we're looking for is also will help the blender to come in and help him with the blending process.
I agree as
Yeah.
well. That question is a very, very good, important question. Artisano del Tobacco, our company, that's the brand. We have a philosophy, and the philosophy is like embedded deep inside in the existence of our corporation and our belief. And it's all about art and quality. Quality is everything. When we do something, it has to be up to a par that like it is so good. When we started our like shops, this is like almost 27, 28 years already, maybe more. Uh, this is exactly what we learn. We learn a great deal of knowledge from the public, from the consumers, from everyone who attended our shops, and we were able to have ears for everyone who comes to our shop and have an idea. We were listening. Everyone who has something to talk about the product, the quality, and everything. So we were learning every day. Every day we were able to educate ourselves to reach the point that when we create something, it has to be of a good product. And also, to answer your question about the art, it's called Artisano del Tobacco. It's everything that has to do with art. We love the artistic uh, uh, uh,
Work of
part of the thing that we
the
do.
cigar makers.
Right? So that's our image. This is what we believe in. So this is why you've seen like the Viva La Vida first, and now you see the El Pulpo, and of course in the pipeline there is other things that we are working on. We are a company that we growing, but we grow very very organically and very very meticulously. We're
Yes.
trying to make sure that we do not go haywire and crazy, and every 6 days we have a new blend.
So to go back to your
Yep.
question, also when it comes to the art, right? So when we decided to do Viva La Vida, we had a lady came to us and she wanted to work at our cigar shop, and she was 23 years old. She just graduated from college. We didn't know that she's an artist. She's a painter. And then one day she comes in with a painting of a woman trying to light her cigar, and there is like 4 or 5 guys trying to light her cigar. We fell in love with that art work, and she said, "Can you sell it for me?" So we put it in the store. Within 24 hours, 48 hours, it was sold. So we asked her, "You drew it?" It's like, "Yes, I'm an artist." So from there it began the story, the relationship with her. So the image of Viva La Vida, the jester, it was a painting that she did for the project in 2013, I believe. She did the drawing, and that painting, it went to a graphic designer where we did it in an image for the bands and the boxes and the stickers and all these stuff. So this
Yep.
is where the image of Viva La Vida, and why we selected the jester is because, guys, like when we were young kids going to amusement parks, there is this jester always doing happy things for people to feel happy, right? Even though like maybe inside he's like, maybe he's sad, but he's making other people happy, right? So this was the image we wanted to bring to Viva La Vida, is this happiness, to remind people, you know what, don't wait for an occasion to smoke a cigar. Every day is a congratulation for you, whatever you did at work, with your family, with your wife, with your kids, with your colleagues, with your friends. Just sit, enjoy life, and that's the concept of Viva La Vida.
Yeah. And it's a good concept with how you've just said that. And you know something, like I say, the very first time I sat with this cigar, I was sat in the garden, nice sunny day, just chilling and listening to the birds and listening to the music and trying to get the nuance of being it like a Victorian ball where the jesters are, and that is like the old Victorian balls with the jester, and that image was stuck in my mind when I was
Wow,
smoking the
now it's stuck
cigar.
in our mind.
Yeah,
That's
when I
beautiful.
went
That's
and
beautiful, man.
visited again, that image came again, and it's there every time I pick this cigar up. That image is there of that Victorian ball with the jester going around, of course, with the face masks, with the kings and the queens and the different people there. And it speaks volumes. This cigar speaks volumes for what you put up and put out for your very first cigar. It speaks volumes because, of course, like I say, I'm in England. So we haven't got, of course, the old Pulpo yet. And I really enjoyed this, and I'm excited to see, of course, when that cigar does hit the UK, how people are going to enjoy that cigar because it's getting good write-ups. You look everywhere. In America, it's getting excellent reviews. The same, of course, as this cigar. But what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to go, of course, up to my cigar loon brother, Cigar Kate. And Kate, of course, I'm going to let you speak, of course, to Gus and Billy, my brother.
How are
Well,
you?
gentlemen, welcome. Thank you very much for your time. It's an honor for you guys to be here with us. I absolutely love this Viva La Vida. I purchased a cigar about 3 weeks ago, and tonight, in the past 3 weeks, this is my 7th one that I've smoked. So I'm
Wow.
running low. But
Thank you so much. Thank
I,
you for the input.
as far as the artwork on the band, you guys have been in the industry for 30 years, having a shop. Do you think? Because I know when a band catches my eye, it's something that brings me to that cigar. Do you think that's changed over the last 30 years where bands are more important now, more pronounced, and you got to have a good-looking band because there's so many cigars out there now? Do you think that's a major factor, or it's become more of a factor over the years as we've come into this age?
That's a beautiful question. I want to say.
You know, like from my end, first of all, I thank you both for this passionate eulogy about Viva La Vida and the Jester, and for sharing what you all have a great experience, both smoking them and enjoying the artwork on that, and on your podium, you sharing this with everybody. For us, this is an honor, and we do thank you. And you know, from my end, to answer your question about, you know, we reflect the art into the product itself. So when you look at that, like the band of Viva La Vida, it is reflection of how we like to do things. And you know, in anything, you know, the image of a product is very important. And the image of the Viva La Vida, it's so like attractive, but at the same time, as I said earlier, we believe in quality. We believe in quality through and through. So we won't cut corners. We won't make a cigar that is a half job. So we make sure that when we go to Nicaragua, we choose the right tobacco, the most expensive all the time, and we age it on top of how long it's been aged. And we make sure that the final product is so good. We make sure as well, and this is very important because we come from retail, and being retailers for that long, we learn so much about when you have a client or consumer or like a cigar smoker or connoisseur, you know, take a cigar, whatever the brand is, and they have an experience with it where it turns sideways or it turns like plucked or whatever the case is. Now you're putting an idea in their head, but next time, should I pick that same cigar? Is it going to be plucked? Is it going to be... So we make sure that we have to get rid of all those negative ideas in the consumer head. And that's why we make sure the quality is top notch. So it's like a reflection of a great art with a great product. And this is our philosophy from the beginning.
Yes. So to go back to your question, I believe, and we believe, that branding is important as much as now and as much as before and more. And the reason why you want to differentiate yourself then, or you want to have a statement on a brand that you bring into the market. So the image that you put is so important when it comes to labeling, when it comes to art, when it comes to the sticker or the box. It's as important as the blend itself. So you want a beautiful design, and also you want the product, the cigar, to have an extreme, delicious, unique, refreshing blend that it's not a copy of anything. There is nothing like it in the market. We refuse to be, I want my cigar to be like X, Y, and Z. I want it to be unique. I want it to be on its own,
Yeah, we don't mimic.
in its own territory, by creating art that is not Cuban-esque, like going and creating Cuban style bands, or not only blends, like stickers and anything to remind you of a Cuban Monte Cristo or Cohiba, or whatever, right? So, and to do that is also challenging, because you are creating something totally different than what's out there. And that's where the challenge is. And as I told you before, I mean, when you design and you bring those designs to the cigar maker like AJ, you really influence his output on any blend. If I bring him something that looks like La Gloria Cubana Cuban, or H. Upman, or Hoyo de Monterrey, somehow, somewhere deep inside his mind, he's gonna bring something similar to those blends, and I want it totally unique. And remember, we are dealing with three elements here: filler, binder, and wrapper, right? And this is where AJ comes to play with his magic, with his extreme talented artistic way of blending cigars. The wrapper, Habano Oscuro, right? It's been done in a lot of different cigars. But why it is different on Viva La Vida? It's because the way he fermented the wrapper, the way he aged it, and
Okay.
there was notes that we were looking for. He need to bring those notes to the surface of that leaf to experience it. Same thing with the filler and the binder. So once we put them together, Viva La Vida was born, right? So again, it gives a great memory, or it gives that image that is refreshing, unique, different from band to blend.
Right. Wonderful. So with the binder, it's the Corojo 99, and the fillers have the Carrillo 98 in it. Did you? So you told him the notes that you wanted, and he said, because the 99 and the 98, those are some very special tobaccos to me, and I wish I would see more cigars with it in there, but.
Correct.
So is that something that he came up with, or you guys said, "Hey, I want this tobacco," or you just kind of let him run with it?
No, I mean,
It's a combination.
it's combination of both. We suggested some kind of other stuff for the filler, but then he told us that it will work much better if we go with X, Y, and Z in the blend. And the wrapper, it was from day one Habano, and we worked on that. There was different Habanos that we were looking for, but we settled on the Habano 2000. Compare it with the Criollo and all the elements of the Viva La Vida, it worked really nice together. And this is where AJ comes in with his talent, and secure what we are looking for from blending point of view.
See, as well, once we start dealing with AJ and his organization on a regular basis, we start to realize, because we believe in quality, as I keep saying, we realize how the whole structure of his work, of his company, is so close to our mind. And at the beginning, we mentioned the roadmap of how we came up with the idea to make things easier for him, how to bring the final product to what it is. So being in the factory and being in every part of the company there, from the farms to the tobacco to the aging, everything, we realize this is the company we want to do business with more and more and more, right? When we were when we were retailers, we had like blends that was made for us differently,
Right.
other than AJ, and they were very good and they were excellent. And then that idea that we said, you know what? Instead of we knew so many people, so many factories, and then till today, people, why you chose X, Y, and Z, and you were very with that. And my answer is what I just said. This is exact. We believe in quality. We believe in product that it will leave a huge impact and a dent on the consumer. That, you know what? I'm looking forward to grab one next time and smoke it, whatever the case is. And that's why we with AJ.
And another
Wonderful.
thing, guys, when we bring those notes and case study for any blend that we do, it's not based on my personal taste or Gus's personal taste. It is basically on consumer, about consumer, what they like, what blends that they're looking for, and also from our experience throughout the years of what blends and wrappers and binders and fillers that people really enjoy. And till this day, guys, we visit so many cigar shops. Every stop we go to, we ask the managers, people who work at the humidor, we ask the owners, what is the biggest seller, the hottest wrapper, what do you like, why do you like it, what flavor you're looking for, what's missing from the market. We always looking and asking these questions. So when we built
Wonderful.
Viva La Vida, it wasn't based on our palate. Honestly, it was based on the majority of the consumer that we had interaction with throughout the years. Same thing with Al Pulpo, same thing with so many brands that we are working on that they take years to come.
See,
but
in that format, the homework that we did back then, and we did a due diligence about the publication and the public and the consumers. Like the majority, we found out majority likes medium to full. The majority.
Right.
And then there is almost 80% of the cigar consumers, 80% they like medium to full. Now, the rest, which is 20% left, is like light, flavored, all that kind of stuff. So we base it on what
something
the
spicy.
people are looking for, medium to full. Something like full body, not
No
particularly
spice.
spice or anything,
No
but
spice.
it has a lot of
Flavor.
body and flavor. And that's how we
work.
blend our.
We are huge on flavor. We want flavor. I don't like to smoke a cigar where the flavor it's going and then halfway it cuts off. I want it to keep going in your palate and dissolve slowly from the palate, and it doesn't leave any aftertaste. It doesn't leave any bitterness or spice. It should be clean, and the only way you could get a clean, no aftertaste cigar is through aging. Any cigar that has a spice to it that leaves a bite in your tongue or your mouth or your lip, that cigar has been rushed to the market. They can't hold it enough. They've been working on it for a year and a half. They rush it. They want to bring
Right.
it, and this is where it have a bite. And you ask the owner, like, oh, I wanted a spicy cigar. No, the spice will go away, and it will be full flavor if you ferment it the right way and if you aged it the right way.
Smoking a good cigar is like reading a good story. You get bored if the story is weak. You drop the book aside and you won't finish it. A great cigar like Viva La Vida and El Pulpo, you start smoking it, you don't want to drop it because every puff, every 5 seconds or every minute, there's a new flavor, there's a new taste
Chapter.
that will make you want to smoke it to check and see what's next. And all of a sudden, you see yourself smoking it all the way down to the nose. This is our philosophy. Yes, seriously.
Same thing with the band, right? The band is that title of that book. So the title of the book should grab you to grab that book. You go to the library and there's so many books, but that band or that title of the book should attract you, and that will make you hold that book up and make you open that first page and read what is it about. So going back to your question about the band, it's all about first image of any brand that you're trying to smoke.
I finished the book right now. I'm going to start with the
second chapter.
book.
Yeah.
I don't have any more questions, but I do have a comment. Gaz mentioned what he envisions when he smokes a cigar. For me, this is so rich in the complexity of it. I've got nice pepper that transitions, it builds as I go through it. But the wood in this for me is a very, very rich mahogany. And I get a dark black cherry note in this cigar that I absolutely I love the cigar. So when I think of this cigar, I think of sitting in a dimly lit study or a den in a huge rich leather chair and just dark mahogany paneled walls. I mean, this is where that cigar takes
Brother,
me.
we're
And
sitting with
I
you,
absolutely
man.
love it.
This is beautiful scenery, man. All this imaginary stuff.
This is
Yeah.
Great.
This is beautiful.
All right, so I'm going to pass it over to Matthew Vitola and Proof. Now, Matthew is probably one of the biggest AJ fans out there, at least in our circle. He is everything he smokes is an AJ. So
Wow. Hey,
almost.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you.
Yeah, we call it fanboy.
Yeah, fanboy.
Thank you.
Matthew, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me
Sound,
now?
Matthew.
Yeah, much now.
All right. Sorry about that. I muted myself. So I will say it sort of in conjunction to what Kurt was just saying. I'm really enjoying this cigar, and I'm actually getting a note that I've been told a lot of times I should get on a cigar, and I've never gotten it before, and it's caramel.
Wow. You got it.
And yeah, man, just that sweet tobacco with that, and it's got this sort of vanilla caramel thing going on, and I'm really enjoying it. There's a nice red pepper. I'm getting red pepper. I don't know what kind of pepper Kurt's getting. And I'm just absolutely loving this cigar. My questions tend to be around my other hobby as well, which is whiskey. And I am pairing this tonight with a Restoration Rye whiskey, which this is another company that really cares about art. So I figured it would be a good pairing. So I was just curious what you guys think about pairing your cigars with what whiskeys or rums even or whatever. What is your guys' take on pairing your cigars with something?
You see, I'm big on bourbon myself.
Okay.
I like bourbon. Of course, espresso, of course, coffee in the morning. So I start like very early in the morning. It could be 5, 5:30, and then I have my espresso and my cigar, and I sit. That's the first half an hour of the day. This is what I do, and this is what puts me in the mood, and I move forward. Now, during the day, lunch or the afternoon, things start to change, and I start picking different things as I go along. But bourbon is my thing.
So this is a great question. When we create cigars, we tend to always think about what people pair it with. It could be soda, it could be spirits, it could be beer, wine, whiskey, right? Mm-hmm. And the idea when we create any blend, we don't want a blend that overtakes what you are drinking. We want it to be cohesive. We want it to be an enhancer, or when you drink whatever you're drinking, it refresh that palate and then it gives it in different direction, and you begin to taste those sweet vanilla, caramel, or the red peppers. It all has to be like an orchestra together, right? So if we bring any cigar that is mild blend, again, you have to think about what people try to pair it with, okay? And if you bring a spicy, full body cigar, also you have to think what people are gonna drink with it. Otherwise, it's gonna fail. And a fail in which way? It's gonna remind people like, oh, when I smoked this blend and I drank with it whiskey, somehow it overshadowed what I was drinking. I'm not gonna smoke it today. Maybe it works only with by itself or with coffee. So you have to be really careful on when you create a blend of what people they're gonna drink with it, and because most of us, when we smoke cigars, we always have some kind of liquid we are consuming with it. So it is important that it works with whiskey. It's important that works with wine and with rum, single malts, all these drinks, vodka. But the idea is you have to be careful that your blend does not overshadows what you're drinking, and that's the trick.
Yes, and also whiskey, and it's like mothers and sisters and brothers, whatever blend of whiskey you have and your favor, it's all made in a way to cleanse your palate after you take a puff, like 2-3 puffs, and then you take that and you chug it, and then you cleanse your palate slowly. You like drink it and let it go smoothly. This gives you the second step. Now, the puff that you're gonna take, or like when you're gonna smoke the second and third smoke, you will start to realize how intense are the flavors that's gonna come on your palate from the cigar, and especially if it's made in a good way. A good cigar
Aged.
will always give you the hints, the notes, the flavors that you are looking for, and sometimes you start to discover new things when you like take certain sips and you wait. You know, the way I do it myself, I like time it. You know, I don't go like smoke and then drink, because I want to understand, especially when someone gives me a blend, I want to try it, so I give it the time. I take certain puffs, I wait, I cool the cigar, and then I take a sip, and I gargle my mouth with it. My tongue now, my tasting buds are like all the way to the top. So when I'm ready to take that second
Drag.
it gives me the things that cigar is made of, the flavors that's gonna come out of that like drag.
But it works excellent with whiskeys. You know, it brings that oakiness, it brings that cherry notes that we worked so hard to bring it to the blend by fermenting it for years. Remember, we started Viva La Vida back in 2013. We released it 2019. So it took all these years fermenting aging, right? In 2019, when we brought that cigar to the market, people appreciated the flavor, they appreciated the blend, they appreciated the smoking Viva La Vida, and they realized that a good cigar has to be aged, fermented for a long time for it to come with those flavors. Same thing with Al Pulpo, for example. We started with it in 2017, right? 2023, we released it. So it took 5 years for it to come to the market. And every year we test it, we smoke it. We go down to Nicaragua, we smoke the wrapper by itself. We smoke the filler by itself, the binder by itself. We want to see the combustion. We want to see if those notes are coming out or not. And in 2023, we realized that's the moment when we're going to bring it to the market. And let me tell you guys, it was really scary moment. Anytime you bring a blend, right? It take like 5 years,
Yeah.
whatever. So as if you're studying for an exam. And then
Yeah.
when you bring it to the market, that's your biggest exam test. Either
Yeah.
you fail or you really did good. And thank God, man, hard work pays off. Truly, truly,
That's
it
right.
pays off. People appreciate it. People love it. People said only great things about Viva and El Pulpo, and we are so grateful for that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great answer. Thank you so much. You really kind of delved into all the things that make it so that I want to do that. I want to pair it, and I want to just explore those tastes together, and that's like really my focus in this cigar world. So that's great. Thank you so much.
You're fine.
I don't really have any other questions, so I'm going to send it over to Grumpy Preacher.
Thank you.
Thank you, bud.
Who's that?
That's you, brother. It's you.
Good evening, guys. Glad to have you here.
Good
Good
evening.
evening to you.
Thank you.
First time with this for me. This is my maiden voyage. And I gotta say, I'm enjoying it. Uh, that the sweet that there's a sweet woodiness in there. I guess Kurt probably is he's probably on that mahogany thing there. I mean, I know it's not for me it's not an oaky thing. I know it's a sweet wood flavor, and it's not cedar. But that's kind of the core line. But then it's got things, like there's a little coffee, and then the chocolatey cherry thing dancing. They kind of dance in and out around that. But the other thing that seems to be a constant with this, uh, every draw. I mean, like you said before, the flavors are there every draw, and they kind of dissipate, and you kind of start every draw fresh, or at least that's what's happening with me. There's not a lot of lingering, but the other thing, is that every draw, man, there's this like handful of pepper that just gets right in there and sits right there on your tongue. It's not a burn thing at all. No, it's a very nice accent to what else is going on there, and it's like you get a fresh little drop of pepper on your tongue with every draw, and that with that sweet wood, and then the coffee, the cherry, and it's man, it's like a nice little buffet right here.
Wow, that's
I do
beautiful.
thank you for your
Yeah.
explanation. It's really, really nice of you. And we thank you for sharing your experience smoking Viva La Vida. And it makes us so happy. Thank you for the time that you've given us and everyone who's listening to you to explain your experience. This is really nice and
And,
good.
and, and it is true what you said. Most notes that you guys mentioned, they were in our notebook where when we went to AJ and we were looking for these elements between cherry, chocolate, espresso,
We got wood,
earthy
but not
wood.
cedar, which is great.
Exactly, it wasn't cedar.
Cedar
Uh,
felt
No,
the diminish.
no.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it's amazing that you guys are experiencing it and you are telling us exactly what's inside this blend, what experience you want us to have for you. And it come to show you that AJ was successful to deliver. Um, and that's why he is who he is when it comes to blending methods. And we are so happy and grateful for that because it is something that from day one we want Viva La Vida with this Habano Escuro wrapper to deliver. And here's an example from you guys sharing with us those notes.
Well, in my opinion, uh, it's a winner as far as that goes. Uh, and the one question that I would have to ask you Don't pucker and cringe, guys. It's an easy one. Oh,
Thank you for an easy question.
I'm the scare factor in this podcast. In case you're wondering, they never know where my questions are going to go. But
It's beautiful.
actually, we've talked the cigar industry, we've talked the different aspects of it and things of that nature. But I want to hear like more from the heart, more from the personal feeling. I mean, you guys, man, it's like have gone from the cigar lounges to where you are with one of the biggest names in cigars today. I mean, on speed dial, click.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a rocket ship to the moon as far as the success factor goes. You know, I mean, I just want to know how, from your personal, from the heart. I mean, how does it feel to be sitting in that driver's seat, man?
I
Because
tell you something.
that is a driver's seat right there. That I mean, people in the cigar industry, they would give both the family jewels to be in that driver's seat. I guarantee you. So I
Thank you
mean, I
so
just want to know
much.
from the heart, how does that feel?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for this great question, and we thank you for this. First of all, we are grateful and honored to begin with being where we are right now. Our journey in the tobacco industry, we all give it to the benefits from the consumer and caring so much about your client. I want to tell you a small story. When we started making the cigars with AJ, first trip that we went down to Nicaragua and we were working on the cigar, I was like dreaming that somebody will have on his Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, opening his humidor, and next to those cigars, there is Padron, there is Fuente, there is Viva La Vida, right? And
All
I
right.
was so grateful for that, just to see one cigar in that humidor, somebody somewhere in the world, right? That he purchased Viva, and he loved it so much that he put it with his rotation, he put it in his humidor. I was like, if I see that, as if you gave me millions of dollars, right? It means
Yeah.
the story, the concept of Viva La Vida worked, right? So we owe all this to you guys. We owe it to everybody who smoked Viva La Vida and Artisanal del Tobacco. We owe it to you guys. This success because of you. This success is because we want the best for you guys. Again, I'm telling you, those cigars are not made for my palate or Gus's. Yes, we have to like them, but they are made in the attention that what
Yeah.
the consumer wanted. This is right.
That's exactly how we are. But also to add to that question, which is I love that question, it's about the seat. You know, it's a seat that we sit on now, and it is our image, it's our identity, and we cherish and we protect and we make sure every day, the brand, the name, our reputation is as good as gold. We will never. That's why we are nervous. We're always on that seat, but we are nervous. You know, we're not flagging. We will never sit like and take it easy. Once you do that, then you start to see how things start to spiral. Okay, competition is very healthy. We're not afraid of competition. Competition makes me a better person, where it keeps me on my toes to be better, right? So I'm always nervous to give you the answer on that seat. Thank God. And again, to be on that seat is hard work. To be on that seat, it doesn't come overnight. It's constant work, hard work, and you have to be honest. You have to be, you have to really love what you do, and you have to share it with everybody else. And that's how we do it every day. I hope my answer to you is satisfactory. And this is who we are, by the way.
Yes, sir. I appreciate both of those answers. They were very humble. They felt like they were very from the heart, and I do appreciate you guys being here. I wish you guys the utmost in success. Um,
Thank you.
and I think, like I said, this is only my first one. It won't be my last one, but for my opinion, whatever that may be worth, I think you've got a winner in the Viva La Vida anyway.
Thank you.
But I'm gonna
Thank you so
pass you
much.
over
Thank
to.
you for your
I'm
support.
gonna,
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna, I'm gonna appreciate you guys being here. I'm gonna pass you over to Jesse and let him get his questions into you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Hey, Jesse.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Thank you for here with us tonight. And I want to say that there hasn't been any cigar at all that I've ever smoked before that brought me back to childhood, and that's
Wow.
what this cigar has done.
Wow.
It's how Kurt and the guys talk about that
Wow.
cherry chocolate because earlier took a smell of the foot of the cigar, and it automatically gave me that cherry chocolate. It brought me back to when we used to give to my mom for Mother's Day and stuff like that, and it just brought a lot of memories. And the fermentation on it, you could really tell.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, you guys being in New York and with other Puerto Ricans over there, maybe you've had it, but it reminds me, and it really makes me want to drink a drink that we have in Puerto Rico called Mavi.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if you guys have ever had Mavi, but this reminds me
I
so
bet
much
you
of it,
we did. Sorry.
That's a great
and I
combo.
really love it.
That's beautiful.
You
Thank
know,
you, Jesse. Yes, sir.
and with that, my question is going to be how much of your guys's childhood life experiences, food you've eaten, how much of that are you putting into the thought of your cigars?
Well, Jesse, this is a very important question. Funny, you just like put this question because a few days ago we were like doing events and stuff like that, and we had that conversation with one of those gentlemen who was there, like who's a cigar connoisseur, and the food factor subject came into the discussion where it has a lot of things to do on how we pick and choose the blends of our cigars as well. It's some people like light food, spicy food, French food, all kinds, Japanese, Asian, whatever. And that palate that you have, every time you eat a meal and it's good, a steak and it's good, you thinking about next time when you're gonna go and do the same thing. Same thing with cigars. We reflect that on the product that we have. We want our consumers, our supporters, our cigar smokers who pick Viva La Vida and El Pulpo to think about it again when they finish the cigar, to smoke it again, whether tomorrow or next week. That's the whole idea. The food factor is very important, and it plays a huge factor in our decision making in blending those cigars.
Yeah.
Jesse, this is truly how we do things.
And also, to your question, Jesse, our dad was a huge cigar smoker and pipes. So when we smell cigars, it always reminds us of my grandfather and my father, right? We learn
Yeah,
about them through them.
Yeah.
And there is a smell that his humidor or his bag always, you never forget, right? And that smell always hunt us. and it always stayed in our mind. And whatever cigars he was smoking, at that time, but those aromas and those smells, they were the headline for our journey into the cigar industry, from opening cigar shops to learning the beginning of the cigars, and then we enhanced it with the consumer. When he used to come to our cigar shop telling us there is this brand, that brand, da 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 da, reading magazines like Snob or Cigar Aficionado or Cigar Journal, or any publication like Half Wheel or Dojo, or any review guys. Because when somebody go and buy a cigar, cut it, smoke it, light it, and sit down for hours, try to write about that cigar, the experience he had, the flavors, this and that, I mean, it is priceless. And we thank them all for doing such a great job. They do it, they explain it much better than anybody, right? So this is where our roots started, with our grandfather and our father, who smoked cigars and pipes.
That's awesome. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, uh, like I said, this brought me to childhood right away. It's been an amazing experience smoking this cigar, and it's
Oh,
got a
look at the
beautiful
ash.
ash. It's a
I know.
beautiful ash.
Beautiful,
Yes,
man.
Uh,
and this is
That needs to be on Instagram.
so I'll make sure that when I grab another one to smoke, we'll get a picture and I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool.
thank you, Jesse.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna
I'm
go
telling
ahead
you guys,
and
go
send
ahead,
it
go.
back to Gus. Thank you so much, guys. It's been a absolute pleasure.
Pleasure is ours. Thank you, bud.
So, of course, we've had a couple of people write over on Instagram, and one of our followers and a good friend of ours, of course, Dick from Cigars for Beginners, he's put, "Good evening, excellent questions. Food is an amazing factor when smoking a cigar." And then, of course, he went into as well, "My grandfather was a used cigar smoker. In my experience and flavour of cigars is still here with me today." And that's the thing. I think a lot of it is one of my grandfathers was a pipe smoker, and certain people who smoke pipes, it kind of takes me back to that. My other grandfather was a cigarette smoker, didn't know I smoked cigars. This was my secret. And you know something, I wish I had the chance to smoke a cigar with him. But my next question for you guys, and I know Grumpy and the rest of the guys always know this question, but 5 people, alive or dead, that you would like to sit and smoke a cigar with. And it doesn't have to be out of the cigar industry. It can be from culture to pop to any music, film, whoever. But 5 people that you would like to sit and smoke a cigar with, alive or dead.
Right now, if this is the question for me, I'd love to sit with you guys. You. To me, trust me, I'm not just like blowing hot air. Every place we go to, I want to just sit with
The consumer.
people who are in that shop, talking to them, because that is reality, and that is, it brings me down to earth. I think that is the best for my knowledge, for my experience, is with those people.
Yeah,
This is me.
he wins.
That's true. I mean, to us, there is nobody more important than the consumer. There is nobody could influence more us than the cigar smoker. Um, Listening to their stories, um, cigar shops are great, right? Because it's one of the industries where you come in, you sit, you smoke, and there is some kind of camaraderie, friendship that created over cigars. And there is no other industry like it. Uh, the cigar smokers, they are one of the best. Uh, your family becomes bigger, your friendship becomes bigger, and that's the best people for us to smoke with. Every night we visit cigar shops, not to sell, just to sit down, smoke, watch the games, listening to their stories. We go out, we play golf together, we go dinners together. Most of our friendship is from the cigar scene. It could be cigar makers or consumers. So we have all of them. Actors, politicians, they don't influence us at all.
And let me add this, guys, we come from retail and the shops in New York, especially where this particular one is located. We had the honor and the pleasure to meet a lot of celebrities, politicians, from presidents.
They're all members.
I'm not bragging here, but that is the honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, when I sit with a crowd like you guys, I feel I'm home. I don't want to put a facade to be somebody else. This is what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So that's why I appreciate that question is very, very important, and it's down to the heart. And I'm telling you, and it's the honest truth, I don't want to be with anybody else but the people who are doing exactly the same like me. I know where I came from, and I will never pretend to be somebody else. Never.
Yeah, then
That's a great question, guys.
It's a great answer that you give, and something.
Excellent.
Everyone, of course, can go and say Churchill or Arnold Schwarzenegger or different ones, but for you guys to say that to us means a lot to us because something like you said. When you meet different people in this cigar community or the cigar industry, and you get the chance to smoke a cigar, the conversation flows. You meet new people. You gain friends, you gain that experience of learning about either the company or the cigar. And I met these guys on TikTok. I'm in England. I never thought I would have sat with these guys in the States, smoking cigars with them, then, of course, doing the podcast with them, and meeting, of course, yourselves, meeting, of course, Laurel Tilly from AJ when we had her on the show, and she was singing your praises. Trust me, when we finished the show, she was going, "Look, you're going to have an excellent live with Billy and Gus. They're excellent guys." So big shout out, of course, Laurel.
Thank
We
you.
absolutely loved having her on. So big shout out to Laurel. But this is the thing,
These are
and
great people.
something. I've got to admit, I'm so glad that I recommended this cigar to, of course, Grumpy, Matthew, and Jesse, and as they're enjoying it. I don't like giving out recommendations. Every recommendation I've given Kurt so far, he's liked. And I don't like giving recommendations. And I'm glad they're enjoying it. And this is the thing. And they're getting the same notes as what I get from this cigar. It's like, of course, one of our sponsors, GQ, he absolutely loves the cigar. He likes anything AJ puts together. Now, how do you find working with AJ? Because people say different things about AJ, of course, with the broken English. It's very hard to get your point out to. But how do you find working with AJ and, of course, making two great masterpieces of cigars with, of course, the Viva La Vida and the El Pulpo, and, of course, doing that with AJ? How do you find working with him?
I'm going to start myself. AJ is a very respectable person, and we love that, and we are the same. Working with him, I have nothing but the utmost respect and the best words that you find to describe somebody. He's so successful. The time span that he grew from where he was to what he is today is like mind-boggling, and it is an achievement. That is a great achievement that he did. Working with him, it shows us how humble he is. You go to Nicaragua and you see him in the farm. You see him like with everybody. He's not that type of person that like right now I have everything and I am better. You don't feel that thing, and that's great. So our relationship with him is very close, and we have nothing but the best to talk and describe AJ.
Yeah. So our relationship with AJ is based on friendship. It's based on what unite us, and what we met AJ and he met us is through the cigars, right? And this cigar made our relationship much stronger, and we respect each other. We respect his opinion. He respect our opinion. So it's a mutual respect. I don't know what other people saying about him, good or bad, but our experience, it come to show the proof in the pudding when he produced Viva La Vida and Al Pulpo for Artesano del Tobacco. And that's basically our proof that he is man of his word, loyal, passionate about tobacco. He loves to produce the best cigars. He wants to have the best cigars of the year in all the magazines.
Yeah.
This is his passion. This is what he looked for, right? Some people want to collect cars and houses and gold and watches. His is to be number one cigar of the year in all the magazines, right? For the brands that he's creating for others and for brands that he's creating for himself, right? So this is his passion. It's all about tobacco. It's all about cigars and making great blends for the consumer to enjoy.
Yeah. I think with AJ and yourselves, it's definitely a good mixture because AJ is very passionate, like you guys are. And when you've got that, you're on for a winner. The same, of course, with who else he works with. You're on for a winner, especially when you're passionate. And you've got to have that passion because it's okay making a cigar and getting that cigar out to the audience, like, of course, you said before. But if it's rushed, people are then going to know that cigar's rushed. And AJ, of course, is meticulous with what he brings out, with the aging process, getting the cigar, and of course, with yourselves doing that. And this is why, of course, your cigars are out there every day near enough. I'm seeing a new post about the El Pulpo, or I'm seeing, of course, the Viva La Vida. Now, of course, I've joined your Facebook group, and the amount of stuff that I see on your Facebook group, and people enjoying it. And of course, you're getting out to the different cigar lounges. You're meeting, of course, the cigar smokers like ourselves and different people. And to see that, you don't see many companies where they go to cigar lounges and they're visiting. You see them now and again for an event. Where you guys were seeing it out there, you go and try the cigars, you're doing the events. But how do you guys find, of course, PCA? And I know, of course, now PCA's changed location. How are you finding that with now PCA changing location? And
Yeah,
how do you
Gus,
find the whole weekend of PCA?
Gus, I want to add a story before we
Yep.
talk about the PCA
Okay.
about AJ Fernandez. Just want to show you how meticulous he is, how passionate he is about cigars that he is creating for us. This is our own experience with him. So back in November 2023, we agreed, us and AJ, that Al Pulpo is ready to move to the market. So we go and we write a press release that goes to Cigar Aficionado, Cigar Snob, Cigar Journal, the all publications, right? The Half Wheel, that within next month, Al Pulpo is going to be released to the market, right? So AJ called us 2 weeks prior to that, and he goes, guys, if I were you, I hold on the releasing the cigar for at least 2 months. I'm like, AJ, we agreed together and we smoked the pre-release and they were great. And we told everybody, he's like, listen, it's your cigar. If it was me, I hold it. I just need 2 more months. There is one note in the binder. It's still not there. I need 2 months to bring it out. So we said, okay, so what we gonna tell if they ask us? He said, say something about the boxes. Okay. So Cigar Aficionado contact us. They said, where's the cigars? Aren't you releasing the cigars? Is it out? I'm like, listen, we have delay. The box factory. We gave a story, right? And they said, okay. So we waited 2 months. AJ called us, said, actually, we called AJ. said, AJ, what? Is it ready? He said, now it is. And then we released it. Of course, we told this to aficionado later on when we had a dinner together with them. We told them the story. And I think it was the best way to describe AJ, to show how much he is anal about his work, even though it's not, I mean, it is a cigar made by him.
When he tells you this is what should happen, we're not going to go against it because he knows that there is something need to come out from that cigar and it needs that 60 days life. So and we said, you know what? This is what we're doing.
Yeah. And we hold it.
And it was the best decision ever.
Yeah.
Now, 3 weeks after we released it, people start like buying the cigar, and then the aficionado got their hands on the cigars from one of those cigar stores. So they smoked the cigar, they had the experience, then they were courteous enough to send a message that you guys smoked the cigar and we enjoyed it, and we have something great to tell you guys. This is a huge winner. This is going to be something great. And that makes us...
And we were so afraid. I'm telling you, I told you guys, it's like for 5 years we've been studying for the big exam, and for the consumer to give it all this love and attention. We are so grateful for it, and we are so honored to have this amount of recognition from different people in the industry and also from the consumer themselves.
Yeah.
So to talk about the PCA, it is done it's moved actually from Vegas to New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. Hopefully it's going to be as much fun for the consumer as Vegas is. Time will tell. This is, they said it's going to be for 2 years there. So we will see next year when we go there, and the consumer will see if it is.
For the PCA, you guys, you need a venue, and at this moment, that's the thing the decision that was made by the PCA board, and it's going to be in New Orleans. And I think, from a business point of view, it is going to be like Vegas in terms of business. But of course, the scenery is different. But I don't think it will have a much negative effect on the show itself. I doubt it, because it was maybe 12 or 15 years ago. It was held there maybe once or twice, if I remember, the PCA. And then they got back into Vegas, and that's what happened. So I think it's going to be fine. My own opinion, my own humble opinion. And that's my answer to that question.
Yeah, you're seeing now, of course, a lot of companies that have stayed away from PCA coming back, of course, like Davidoff. Davidoff, of course, are coming back, and they're going to be there. And this is the thing. I know, of course, PCA's always busy. Great atmosphere, of course. Meeting, of course, the chains who are, of course, going to buy your cigars, like, of course, Cigar Page, Famous, and different ones, of course. Then meeting the audience like ourselves, coming out and smoking the cigars. And it's a great thing. And this is the thing. I feel so jealous, especially for these guys and everyone else in the States, because we don't really have many events out here, and we need more. And of course, Intertarbach is in Germany, which is a big show, basically, as we would say, of course, for Europe. But have you got any plans, of course, to visit England in the near future? And of course, visit some of the cigar retailers here in England?
Yes, so we are going to be in Intertarbach this year. We're traveling next week, actually. We're going to be exhibiting in Intertarbach. We signed a international importer, and hopefully he will be able to bring us to England. And once he does that, 100% our plan our plan with him is to create events in England. Uh, from day one, honestly, to tell you the truth, from 2019, we had such a huge amount of consumer from England targeting us regarding Viva La Vida. When you guys are coming, when you guys are coming. So it is one of those countries that we would love to have an importer there, that he will create those events for us where we could go meet you guys and smoke with you and experience England, Viva La Vida, Al Pulpo in London or anywhere in England.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. And like I say, of course, you'll have to text me, Billy, when you're both over, and I'll have to, of course, get down and come and meet you both, because it'd be nice to sit there and smoke a cigar with you and meet the both of you and get a picture
That
with
would
you.
be our honor, brother.
And it'd be my honor as well. And of course, a great thank you for sitting here for an hour and 15 minutes with us tonight and talking to us, because we understand you're busy guys, and it does take a lot, of course, to spend an hour. But you know something, I've got to say from my heart, two of the most humblest guys we've ever spoke to, especially about your brand. And we really appreciate tonight you coming on, sitting here, of course, telling us how you started to where you are now. And of course, I know my other brothers. What's going to be the next cigar you're going to try? Is it going to be, of course, the El Popo? I know you, Matthew. You've got a big cheesy grin on your face. I know that's a definite with you, Matthew. I know that's a definite. But of course,
I already have
for
it
the
in the
rest of the
cart,
brothers,
man. I already have it in the cart.
If you love San Andreas, guys, you're gonna love the El Pulpo. You're gonna love the El Pulpo, the San Andreas. It's
That's
10-year-old
next on my
tobacco,
list.
smooth,
I'm
creamy.
super excited.
The smoke is so rich and thick. Uh, brand new notes you're gonna experience. Uh, so unique.
It has a lot of caramel, dry, sweet figs. It has hints of espresso. As you keep smoking it all
Chocolate.
the way down to the nub, you have a great experience. You will never get bored, where you have to leave it in the ashtray. The way when you read a story or a book, and it's either boring or excellent. Excellent, you'll finish it to the end, and no matter how big the book is, the same thing with
Look at that. To the knob.
This is
Guys, I want to tell you a story about the El Pulpo, right? So we launched the line, and the PCA, we launched a new size. And that new size was a Culebra. And Cigar Aficionado and the magazines asked us, are you releasing anything for the PCA? We said, yes. It's a new size El Pulpo. They were excited. What is it? We said, it's a Culebra. We were like, Culebra? Really? So we said, yeah. And we came with this idea. We have a Club 500 that based on the first, that represents the first 500 cigar shops, clubs, lounges, accounts. So when we did the pre-release for El Pulpo, we send them bundles and they smoke them and they tell us their review, their input, and what other things we need to do with it, right? So there is a club, it's called Luxury Cigar Club. They came, they said, we love the blend, and you know what's really cool to do? To create a Culebra size to represent the tentacles of the octopus. So we love the idea, we go, we do it, and Cigar Aficionado on the magazines, they review it. Cigar Aficionado gave us a huge ratings, and then they send us an email saying, congratulations, we just want to let you know that the Culebra El Pulpo Acto Ucho was rated the highest in the history of Cigar Aficionado magazine. And we were like blown away, man, for a Culebra, right? And I'm telling you, it's a three Lanceros twisted together. When you open them and you smoke each one, each turn in that Culebra will deliver something totally different than whatever you experience in the front or in the middle or in the end. It is so unique. It is so delicious. It's going to put a smile on your face.
I can assure you, you will smoke it back to back. You finish the first one.
You want to light another one.
Like the other one. Everyone who smoke who have the same experience. It came out so great.
Yeah.
That's the
You
story
don't.
with the collabo.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't see many of that type of cigar out. I've only ever seen it probably twice. And of
Yep.
course, I knew that you guys had brought it out. I'd read it in one of course, the publications that are out. And this is the thing. You're coming out with different cigars. You're coming out, of course, with different sizes. You look, of course, at the Viva La Vida with what you brought out, of course, with the Jester, the different lines that you brought out and the different sizes. This is the thing. You've got a size for everybody in your portfolio to smoke, if it's from Robusto to Toro. And this is great about you because we get to try that and see the new nuances of the notes in the cigar. And this is why I like, of course, exploring different sizes in the cigars. And
Thank you, Gus.
well done to you. Well done. And like I say, all the best for the future. And you know something, from me, I absolutely love the Viva La Vida, like I said.
Gus,
And
thank you so
guys,
much, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you, all of you, for those kind words. It truly embedded in our heart. You have no idea how we're feeling when you come and you experience those cigars to us. This is what it's all about. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gus. Thank you, everyone from the Cigar Loons.
As well
Thank
from
you.
me, guys. Thank you for
Appreciate
giving
you being
us.
here, guys.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you and enjoy this like hour that passed by as if it was 5 minutes with you guys. This is what I keep talking about. I would love to spend most of the time with people like you, and to me, that's it. Again, thank you. Thanks everyone who's listening. And till then, God bless from New York, guys. Thank you. Hopefully, we'll be able to see you soon.
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
most
Thank you.
definitely. And like I say, we'll definitely, of course, get back in touch with you later down the line and see what else you're bringing out, and of course, get you back on again. And you're part
It
of the
will be our
family. You're
pleasure.
part of the Cigar Lounge family. And I know, of course, I've got to put a shout out to Robert from Sticks at the Shop. I know, of course, he had a great show with you. And of course, if you don't mind, I will pass your information over to the Leaf Cutters, another
Yes.
great group of guys, cigar smokers, and of course, friends of ours. And they'd love to have you on as a guest. And this is the thing
Thank you.
we're now, of course, supporting other podcasters, and they're coming on with us. And it's about growing and, of course, people meeting. And yet again, thank you. God bless. And of course, thank you to everyone that's tuned in on Rumble, of course, on
It's
Instagram, and also on here. And of course, if you want to go and learn some more about, of course, Artesano del Tobacco, then please go and visit their website. It is there in the comments, of course, so you can go and visit their website. And also, of course, if you want to go and grab their cigars, you can go to www.cigarpage.com. And also, you can go over famoussmoke.com. And if you're in England, of course, then go and visit gqtobacconist.com, which one of our, of course, sponsors here. And of course, they've got the Velveeta. That's where I got mine. And go and buy yourself one and tell us. Come to the Cigar Lounge and tell us how you've enjoyed it. Of course, if you want to go and check out their Facebook group, they are on Facebook, so you can find them. And from us, thank you very much, Billy and Gus, for yet again coming on tonight and spending this time with us, and we really appreciate it. And from me,
Thank you, guys.
much love. Kurt, you got anything you want to say before we finish, my brother, and Grumpy and Matthew and Jess?
No, it's been truly a pleasure for us. Very enlightening. Just hearing the backstory. I mean, it just your guys' passion, humbleness. It just makes me want to support you even more. You know, I was going to support you anyway because I love the cigar, but you guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, and this has been a great conversation with you guys, and I just truly appreciate everything you guys are putting together over there with AJ, and I look forward to tearing into the rest of your cigars, man. Thank you
you
again
so
for
much.
being here.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. I just want to say I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here with us. I think that speaks for itself as far as the first time with the Viva La Vida.
Wow, that's
Um,
beautiful.
El Popo is on the list to be next to try. And I will be looking to get hands on anything else you guys are going to shoot out there. So Once
Thank you so
again,
much.
I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate the humbleness. Wish you guys much success in what you're doing, and may all the blessings in the world be upon you.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
brother.
the beautiful words.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
guys.
Thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. The smoking your cigar was an absolute experience, to say the least. We got that
Wow.
much.
Oh my God.
This is a real knock, yes.
I like to burn my lips. If the cigar is good, I'll burn my lips. It's okay.
Wow,
You
that's
know?
Let me
great.
tell you a
But
great
no,
story.
seriously, thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute experience having your cigar and talking to you guys. And I cannot wait to have the pulpo. I actually have the Octo Ocho in my cart, so
You have it,
Oh, that's great.
I have it
dude.
in my
You have
cart.
to share it with the guys, man. You
I
gotta
have that in my car. I do, yeah. So
listen. Reach
we'll
to us on Instagram. Let us know, or Facebook. Let us know your experience with it. We
we'll
cannot
do
wait to.
absolutely.
Okay, excellent.
And of course, it has been the Cigar Loons, and of course, we have had, of course, Billy and Gus from Artesano del Tobacco, and thank you again. And of course, guys, I am going to play out the intro that we had, and of course, go and check their cigars out, please, because excellent cigar company, excellent guys, and they bring out great cigars. So go and check them out, and much love. And we'll catch you on, of course, the next podcast, which is next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, of course, 4 p.m. Pacific. And if you're still up late in England like me, midnight in England. We'll catch you next week. From us, see you later.
Cigar Loons Podcast. We are the invaders of the cigar world. Cigar Kurt, the front porch cowboy. It's a ginger grizzly bear with a super palate. Cigar Loons, invaders of the cigar world. Grumpy preacher, the conspiracy theory expert. Cigar Loons Podcast, come and join us. Vitola and proof expert on all things spirits. Tobacco G, Stitch director of special operations. Cigar Loons Podcast, we are the invaders of the cigar world. Cigar Kurt, the front porch cowboy. As a ginger grizzly bear with a super palate. Cigar Loons, invaders of the cigar world. Grumpy creature, the conspiracy theory